Hello everyone and welcome back to Planet Zoo. I am going to timestamp this video and say it's been a week after the Oceania pack came out, and the reason being is it kind of took me off guard, the release of the Oceania pack, and I had by no means worked on the zoo since the last pack came out. That is my bad, and I should have worked on it before, but it just completely slipped my mind. And when it came out, I was like, oh damn. So I spent the whole last week planning the zoo to be what I would like it to look like, and then working on it, as you can see here. That is where I have been. It's not because I didn't want to cover Planet Zoo, it's because I have been busy detailing and making these enclosures. As you can see, we have, well, first of all, what should be coming up on screen right now is the planning that I did for it. There should be a flow chart, bubble flow chart of how I wanted to lay out the zoo, and then another one about a little bit more of a close-up of the entranceway and the layout of the Oceania zone. So I ended up doing this penguin enclosure. I'll go over that with the time-lapse video that I did create that went with it. We do have the beginnings of a train ride which will go around the zoo, connecting up all the different zones together. So we're going to be having an African zone down here, then a European zone up here, then Southeast Asia and Asia over here, and then South America and North America. And that's where what the train will be doing, it'll be connecting up. So we're just laying down the foundations for the ride there, leaving it for the time being. We will address it when we're ready for it. And yeah, so for the last week, I've just spent the time planning and implementing. We have reintroduced the platypus, dingoes, emus, common wombats, the exhibit animals. So we got the blue tongue lizard here, we got the giant cockroach in this one here, and we have the eastern brown snake in this one. I have set up an enclosure for the Tasmanian devils, but I've also introduced the southern cassowaries in here. As you can see, we got these big angry boys in here like so, and the saltwater crocodile, and I've set up a really cool little platform that people can go up to and look into the enclosure itself, which I think was quite cool. May have another one coming over here yet, I am not certain, but I'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Anyway, so today we're going to introduce a few animals to the zoo. This week we will be doing a video almost every single day, just to make up for the fact that I didn't cover it last week, which again I do apologize for. I was planning on introducing the quokka into the same enclosure as the koalas, red kangaroos, and the red wallabies, since they all kind of get along quite well with one another. Hence the reason why we have a black board in here. However, upon a little bit of thinking just a moment ago and seeing what animals they gel with, I am probably going to end up putting them with the emus. Now, that does mean that humans cannot interact with the cutest animal in the world, which you could probably do even in the wild, because quokkas are just that most adorable. They're the most adorable marsupial in the world. Changed my mind. But instead, I am going to put them up with their buddy old pals, the emus, the ones that they enjoy being with, because that just seems what they like, who they like to be with. Now, the emus, when I made the enclosure, I didn't realize they needed a little bit more longer grass than what they did. So whilst we wait for the quokkas to go through quarantine, I am quickly just going to go about and just finish off this enclosure, give them a bit of short grass. There we go. We have our first quokka. Isn't it just adorable? I love it. I want one. I could probably say that for a few of the animals in the zoo, but I want one. Lara, meet your new buddy old pal. Did you just see that thing just do like a Superman leap to get into the foraging pen? But yes, Clara, meet Jara. Okay, so these guys should now be happy. If we go in here, we do need to give them some enrichment, but they do enjoy. We do need to give them a bit more toy and interaction. They don't like a lot of this. Alright. Let's get rid of all that. Now we need to give them more plants. Okay. So I thought it would be an easy transition. Apparently they don't like the trees that I put in here. So this is why we're covering this episode, so you guys at home can know what to pick and put and choose plants you're able to put into the same enclosure as your emus and with your quokkas. Do you like foxtail palms? You do. Excellent. Let's put a couple of those in, shall we? We'll have to check with the emus afterwards if they're okay with the quokkas coming and being bossy pants and saying, hey, we don't like what you like. Ghost gum? Oh, they do like ghost gums. I do like a good ghost gum tree. Not as much as a rainbow eucalyptus, but ghost gums are pretty cool looking. Stringy wood eucalyptus? Should we put one in? Yeah, why not? Put one in. Right, these guys are now happy. What about you, emus? Are you guys happy? Yes, you are. Oh, that's brilliant. And we basically got the perfect amount of coverage of plants for them as well. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is give these guys a little bit of love in the old enrichments. Quokkas right there, bam, underneath pygmy. I was about to say pygmy potatoes. No, not pygmy potatoes, pygmy hippos. Oops. Let's put some of these herb thingies down. And you guys like a feeding pipe form, so let's put a nice, that is a huge one, we don't want a small one down. Right, tennis balls. Let's give you guys some tennis balls. A couple of those dotted around, like so. That should actually do it. And as obviously over time, as we get more information and do a bit more research about quokkas, we will eventually end up having more cool stuff for them in the enclosure. But that is them. They're nice and now happy. So what we're going to do is we are going to grab this board here, since it's no longer going to be, I said this board here. Thank you. We're going to hit M. And we're going to move it across, and we're going to stick that there, and we're going to have quokka. Boom, there we go. They are now all happy. Unfortunately, humans can't interact with them, but oh well, there's the price to pay for if you want to have animal enrichment, so the two of them getting along with one another. Right, moving on to the next thing, we are going to be doing the Tasmanian Devils. Okay. Now that we are going to do the Tasmanian Devils. I've just got them out of quarantine. They're not very happy with their enclosure, and I wouldn't be either. It's a lot of just grass and nothing else to it. Now, these guys want less long grass. They need more short grass. They need hard shelter, obviously, and the environment, they need a lot more coverage. That's something we can do. So cue the music and the time lapse.
Thank you.
As you can see, I kind of went a little bit overboard probably with the trees, with the Tasmanian devils. They, however, like the coverage, so I don't mind there being a lot of trees and stuff part of their environment. I did base this design or this layout for the Tasmanian devils on an image I found of Tasmania. They do have quite rocky terrain down there. They're quite hilly, quite a lot of cliffs and everything. Obviously this isn't a cliff, this is flat, so I've just thrown some boulders in and so forth. And probably need to move this cabbage tree just a little bit because it is kind of blocking. There we go. I put a little burrow in there. Tasmanian devils like to burrow, but we've thrown everything that we can into the Tasmanian devils enclosure. They seem to like it, they're happy. So that is what we're going to do. So we've covered 2 animals so far. We have the quackers and we have the Tasmanian devils, but now I'm going to do a 3-for-1 episode for you guys at home. And I'm going to be doing probably one of the cutest birds to ever grace this planet. I'm not saying that because I am biased, and nor am I saying that because I'm a New Zealander, though if I didn't say that as a New Zealander, I will probably be shot. We are going to be doing our national bird here in New Zealand. We're going to be doing the kiwi. These guys are incredibly cute. I am, again, no bias here. I just think they're an incredibly cute bird. Interesting. They're only 200 square meters of land requirement, which is quite good. So there's not a lot of land required to house these guys. However, I know for a fact that these guys like to be, they come out at night. They don't come out during the day. And I know at the Auckland Zoo, as that is one of a few zoos I have, as one of the small handful of zoos that have kiwis and a rehabilitation centre for them at the zoo, they have made an exhibit that is fully enclosed and it's always perpetually nighttime in there. You walk in and it's just darkness, and you're like looking in the gloom. There's a little bit of lightness and everything going around inside of it, and you'll sometimes see this creature just darting through. I don't know how they've done it for Planet Zoo and whether we need to do something like that, but we are going to just double check everything about this. They are confident with humans, so we can enter the habitat. Though, personally, I don't think we should be doing stuff like that. Recently in the news, and when I say recently, I mean probably about the last few months or so, it came out that one of the zoos in the United States, I think it was the Florida Zoo, one of the zoos in Florida, they were having the kiwi out as a petting animal and in broad daylight, and you could see the poor thing shivering. And let's just say that the entirety of New Zealand, myself included, were completely outraged at what we were seeing on the news and how they were treating our national icon, to the point that the zoo apologized and that they were going to do remediation and consultation with zookeepers and people who know how to handle kiwi from New Zealand. And I think they're going to be completely changing how they're presenting the animal, because yes, it's not fair. These things only come out at night, and yet they have them out broad daylight doing petting things, and they're not meant to be petted. I'm just trying to think how we're going to have this. We're not going to have people into the zoo, but there is a new feature. There is a new feature that has come in with the Oceania update, which is the viewing dome center. Now what you do is you slap this bad boy down, like so, and then you can proceed to build your habitat for them. So we only need 200 square meters. Do remember that. I am thinking of doing another platform like we've got over here, over this side for the crocodiles. I am still I am working this out as we go. I have not experimented with this at whatsoever. I've just saw, oh, cool, kiwi, and we're going to do it. But I don't know how we're going to go about doing it per se. Now, I do know kiwis live in burrows, so we are going to make a little bit of a hill so that they can live in it. Okay, this is where we go completely crazy with the New Zealand forestry stuff. These guys love trees. They like hiding. I forgot to put the hill in, so we just quickly do that. When I say hill, it's more like a hillock. When I say hillock, it's more like a mound. There's actually a little cool little thing, trivia if you will, that Nikau leaves when they fall off the tree make excellent toboggans to go racing down on a hill on. I have done it before. It is quite fun. They the leaves are essentially this whole thing here. So from the very tippy top here all the way down to where you see like this bit. Now you sit in this little, I guess you could call it a spoon. You sit in the spoony part and you have that as your tail, and you just, or you have it around the other way and have that as your front, so you've got something to hold on to, and you just find a hill and you just slide your way down. It's really, really fun to do. Dangerous, but fun. But yeah, highly recommend doing it. If you can. If you haven't done so, you're missing out. It's a lot of fun. Now, I do know for a fact that in New Zealand's native bush, as we like to call our trees, our forests, we don't call them rainforests, we don't call them regular forests, we call it the bush. You're probably going, oh, but Sir Firecat, a bush is just a bush. And I go, yes, you're quite right. In New Zealand, bush is a big grouping clump of trees. And by a big grouping clump of trees, I mean something that probably spans a few hectares or acres. Whatever your unit of measurement choice is. Now, I have no idea what this does. Can we, no domes, how do we place a dome? Well, that's neat, isn't it? How does this work? Why is it obstructed? There's plenty of room for you to view Kiwi. What I might do is I might make the enclosure just a little smidgen bigger. That way, that will allow us to probably fit a dome in. Because I just don't like the idea of people walking through the Kiwi's enclosure. Yes, this is a video game, but I'm trying to make it as realistic as possible. You have to respect New Zealand's national bird. Oh, boom. Place one like that. We need to also go to habitat and we need to put a burrow in. These little guys. Only need the one. Can we change the color of this? Can. Ew. Cool. And we can change the color of this too, I take it. Oh, cool. We're just going to make it fully dark green. There's only one color, and that is green. This is the enclosure for the kiwi. I hope this works out quite well for it. What else can we do? Yes, we need to borrow one of these. Alright, so that's the kiwis. Hopefully now we should be able to get the kiwis into the enclosure. Move, please, work. Please. No path to destination. What do you mean there's no path to destination? What am I missing? Someone at home, please yell at me. What am I missing? Is it because it's not... Is it... No, it's a habitat bird because it wouldn't come up in the habitat animals. Why won't it come? Because I've got it on pause? Shouldn't be. I've been able to queue up. You guys are being moved, yes. Kiwi. Move. Yeah. This, you guys are probably been yelling at home going, that's what you need to do in the first place if I get you numpty. And you're probably 100% right. I'm just a little bit slow at times. Here we go, here we go. Ah! It's so cute. And it's got no enrichment. How dare we forget its enrichment? What kind of individual am I to forget the enrichment of my national bird? Environment's awesome. I love it. I knew they would like this environment. Terrain. See, I just know kiwis just so well. I just know the native bush so well. I would feel bad if I didn't nail the kiwi enclosure. Minus the, obviously, the enrichments, because I wouldn't know about enrichments. I just know how they live naturally in the wilderness and what native New Zealand native bush looks like. I could probably throw in a couple of fallen trees. Can't I point you? There we go. There you go. That is terrible. Why are you floating? There we go. Just do something. He just, all he needs now, or she needs now, is a mate. And her mate should be on the way. Oh, and we need to change this to, obviously, North Island brown kiwi. The cutest bird of all. And don't get me wrong, there's some cute birds out there, but nothing beats the kiwi. Anyway, I think that is all we have time for today. I hope you guys didn't mind me waffling on there a little bit, being really enthusiastic about one enclosure that I'm really happy about. I have never seen a kiwi in the wild. I will put that out there. I've never seen a kiwi in the wild. I do know that there is some near me that I could potentially see, as they are being reintroduced to a regional park near me, but I am yet to see one out in the wild. However, next episode, we will be looking at these cute little guys, the little penguin, or as we like to call them, the little blue penguin, because they are blue. Now, these cute little guys I have seen in the wild a lot of times. The last time I saw one was when I was out on the jet ski, and I was hooning around on the ocean, and I spotted one of these, and I stopped, and I sat in there, and I chatted with it for about 5 minutes, and then I decided to leave it alone and continue on my way. But that is what we're going to be doing next time in here. That, and we are going to probably look at introducing the speckled flying fox, which is native to Australia, which means we're going to be inserting a bird cage kind of exhibit for those guys because they do like to fly around. Anyway, as I was saying, I've been Sir Firecat. Apologies again for how late this episode is, but I will make sure to make it up to you guys this week and hopefully the rest of it, because we are going to continue. I am not going to stop the series. We are going to keep continuing with the series until we have every single animal in the game in our zoo. Anyway, I've been Sir Firecat. You have been watching Planet Zoo. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more. And until next time, take care.